A lot of you have been asking me if I ever get lonely on the road. So today, I thought what better day than to talk about it. You know, being around camp can be kind of a struggle sometimes. And I have seen many times that people talk about how loneliness sets in when they're physically at their campsite. And for me personally, I think that I'm a little bit different in that regard. See, for most of my life, I have always spent time worrying about others. And in doing so, I have always been more concerned about what's going on with them than what's going on with me. But when I decided to start doing van life, that all changed. I suddenly had to be this self-sufficient human who was able to do everything in my space all by myself with zero other people there to help me. So I had to start focusing on me and what makes me tick. And that's kind of hard, guys. It's super, super hard. As we put the van in driving mode, I think I can talk about it a little bit more. I think that the main thing that we learn about ourselves kind of as we go is what our limits are. In fact, most of us go an entire lifetime without fully understanding what it is to be okay with being alone. And I think that van life is one of those things that really brings that aspect full circle and puts it in your face and makes you have to address it. And because of that, a lot of conversations happen when you're driving down the road just talking to yourself. In fact, the vast majority of the first 3 years of me traveling was just me having an ongoing dialogue with myself, trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to get out of this lifestyle and this life. I think it's really important whenever you have those honest conversations with yourself. Sometimes it isn't the easiest to do because it makes you confront the things that you don't necessarily love about what you're doing in your old life and figure out how you're going to make it actually work in your new life. And then you have to take out the trash. What I mean by that is not taking out the physical trash, but taking out all the trash that you told yourself about what it is to exist in this moment. Most of the time, whenever we're taking out this trash, it's all of the self-talk that we've done that makes us depend on others or need others or have to be around others because we're programmed to be super social people. But sometimes van life can be a lot about solitude. Then after you've taken out that trash and you've allowed yourself to see your life different, that's when you can truly make the progress that you really do want to be making. In fact, that's the time where after you cut through all the hard stuff, all the self-talk, all the self-doubt, that's whenever you truly start to appreciate those moments of solitude. Now, speaking from experience, this is a hard feat. And it's not something that you can just do just cold turkey. No, it's something that takes some adapting and some adjusting. And so there's a few things along the way also that can keep you from getting lonely. Because just because this is a solo life doesn't mean it has to be a solo existence. But until you get to that point where you've taken out that trash, you don't really understand that concept fully. See, once you get to this point, now you're at a crossroads. You're at a crossroads with yourself. And at this crossroads, you now get to choose how you will respond to different scenarios and situations. For me, that meant that now I was finally ready to be social in van life. No, I know. I said it was a solo kind of thing. And that's what you're at home thinking, is it's solo all the time. But it doesn't have to be. See, just because you decide that you want to dwell in a van and travel as a nomad, a single nomad, does not mean that you cannot have social interaction. In fact, I have implemented several different strategies for keeping myself social and thus not being lonely on the road. And today I'm going to share those things with you. You know, I think that the one thing that we can consistently say about van life is every single day is a new opportunity, and these are the things that I do to keep that experience fresh and not lonely. Number 1, go into town. Go into town and meet new people. Go to businesses, go get your groceries, talk to people whenever you're getting gas. Go to places that make you happy. Today, for example, I went and got my haircut, and while I was doing that, not only did I get a lot better of a look overall, but I had a great conversation, and in doing so, I had a good time, thus making me not lonely. Now, running errands serves two purposes, not only to keep you not lonely, but also to get things that you need. Like me, I'm grocery shopping. Number 2, go to events. Events can be a great way for you to meet new people that have similar goals on the road. You can also find a lot of people who might travel like you, which could later form caravans. Again, no loneliness here. Check out these events. Number 3, if you don't like to eat alone, make it into something that you can be productive doing. I like to, for example, bring my food out to my van and eat while I'm here, but also check my emails, do all the things that I need to do for work, and make it into something that isn't so much a negative thing. Instead, it is a positive thing. Also, if I'm cooking at my campsite, I do the same thing. I set my food time up to not only be the time that I get my nourishment, but also the time that I do a lot of the different things that are just like busy work that I can do from my phone. Now, a lot of times whenever I am out at a campsite, specifically when I'm by myself, that's whenever you can really get in your head a little bit more because you're by yourself. But what I try to do is something that sounds way too simple. I stay busy. Now, busy looks very different for each and every person. For example, busy to some might mean van projects. Busy to others might mean just digging in and doing the elbow grease that it takes to do some work. And busy to others might be having some kind of cool hobby or some kind of thing that you like to do in your spare time. Like, for example, me, I like coloring or doodling. I think it's super, super fun. So stay busy. Now here's a really good one for everybody. If you're needing a little bit of interaction, but at the same time, face-to-face is not for you, what about a message board or a social group? There's plenty of them online that you can interact with. And me personally, I belong to 4 or 5 different groups on Facebook for solo female travelers, for van life, and then also specifically for my NV. These are great ways for you to communicate with others who are doing the same thing that you're doing and have that little sense of community without having to have face-to-face interaction. Because I know sometimes that can be a little bit scary, but with things like that, you can actually talk about things that are of your concern, find people who have very similar kind of ideas and thoughts. Also finding somebody that you might have a few similarities with that you can identify with for maybe some deeper conversations here and there. That's a great way for you not to feel lonely. And on some days, if you're just lonely, invite a friend. It's no big deal. Have a friend or family member meet you for a good campfire. Again, going back to that initial question of am I ever lonely on the road? No, not really. I stay really busy. I always am focusing on goals. I'm interacting with people in different cities as I travel across the United States. I get together with friends at those gatherings, and sometimes when I'm lucky, I get to have little meetups right here at my campsite with the people who I've already connected with. And that keeps me from getting lonely, and I think it would help you. And I think it would help you also. There's no need to be lonely on the road when a friend is just a call away. Remember that, guys. And with that said, I hope you've enjoyed today's video and coming along with me to hear a little bit more about how I personally interact on the road and then how you can as well. Remember, guys, we enable ourselves to be in whatever path that we want to while we're living our van life. Our van journey can be as exciting or as calm as we want it to be. There's no one way to truly van life. And so I hope today's video was helpful to you guys. Remember, guys, we're not here for a long time, but we are here for a good time. And that means we don't have to be lonely at all when we're on the road. Till next time, guys, bye.